Hey y'all, how's it going? So Jesse. We're gonna do Proverbs chapter 1. Um, this is the wisdom allegory. I think it's like the third part or something like that. Today is verse 27 through 29, and I'm gonna reread verse 26 also. So it's 26 through 29. We talked about what happens about wisdom laughing at the calamity of those that don't listen, and when your fear comes. But we're going to read a little bit more and talk about that. I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as desolation, and your destruction as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish cometh upon you. Then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but shall not find me. For they that hate knowledge and did not choose the fear of Yahweh, of the Lord. Okay. So it's not just the first-hand rejection of wisdom or regarding of wisdom and its reproofs, okay? It's also when your destruction comes and you haven't listened to the wisdom, there's no way out. It's like, somebody gets hooked on crack and they steal a bunch of stuff. They end up in jail. Well, they're going to be looking for any way to get out of jail, any way to get their fix again. But the wisdom is gone at that point. It's too late. The results are there, and it's like, somebody that fools around and, commits sodomy and catches AIDS, or a different STD, perhaps. I don't know. And they can't cure it. Well, it's too late to seek wisdom. You already done the problem, right? So that's a thing that is not fixable. Or perhaps you made a bad investment in the stock market and lost your money. Well, you're gonna have a hard time starting over. That's just the way it is. If you don't seek wisdom first at the start of whatever it is that you're doing, or at the start of your life, and you don't seek wisdom as a continual implementation of how to live in your life, well, when bad things happen, it's too late. It's already happened, A gal that didn't want to get married and wants to have out-of-wedlock sex is going to end up with a kid eventually, even if you use birth control. It's what happens when you have sex, and unless you completely remove the organ, well, and even then sometimes weird things happen, So just consider that when it's too late, it's too late. And that verse 27, that reminds me of the California wildfires. That happened here in early 2025, and it was hurricane force winds that were blowing sideways and burnt down 10,000 homes or more and killed 26 people or more. Okay? That's Yahweh's judgment on the earth, and that's exactly what Armageddon looks like. And so, we live in the day and age where the grand totality of man's ignorance of wisdom and ignorance of the fear of Yahweh is coming to its fulfillment. And for yourself, be wise. You can't change the world around you. God's already prophesied about that. But you can change you. And even if you change you just a little bit for the better, well, that little bit might save your life. But to be honest with you, I think most of the world and most everybody needs to change a lot of bit. And that's just the way it is. Ain't no getting out of that. Armageddon's coming. It's already started in different places of the world. We know this. It's not going to slow down. There's just going to be more wars and more calamity and more pestilence and natural disasters and problems in the earth and more humans becoming So it's a thing that's like, all right, well, consider that in referent and frame of time, that all of our personal disregard for wisdom and all of our ancestors' disregard for wisdom and their ancestors' it's all coming to fulfillment in our time, right? And that's a very, very scary thing. Very scary. Especially when you read this, when your fear cometh as desolation and your destruction as a whirlwind, when distress and anguish come upon you, then shall they call upon me, wisdom in this case, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but shall not find me. You have to look for the wisdom first, before the bad things happen. For they that hate knowledge, we're talking about those that hate knowledge, we're talking about those that are trying to change and tell a different story than the historical one. They want their story told. They want their story about more than two genders told. They want their story about how a man or a woman can be whatever sex they want, or act the way they want, or do whatever they want with no repercussion, because they're trying to change historical stories, and they've tried to change religious freedom into freedom of sin, and those things are not the same, and so this, they hate knowledge, they hate the past knowledge, and did not choose fear or terror of Yahweh. So, well, we're looking at future sad times for anybody that's wicked. And knowing, and a wise person knowing that is going to be sad now before it happens. But afterwards, be like, it's finally over, I can move on, and they'll be joyful. And you know what? A lot of those wise people, they might laugh at the destruction. Because I know I have in the past. Right? And maybe that's not the nicest thing to say, but when you see somebody really bad get their just desserts, hard not to laugh. I think God laughs at it a little bit too, and maybe so does Jesus, right? And that's kind of like dude, that's kind of offensive, man. Well, like if stupid is as stupid does, you might as well just, if the shoe fits, wear it. Like, hey, if you're doing something stupid, and you screw yourself up, expect everybody that knows better to laugh at you. That's what they do. We're human. And even the God in heaven says he laughs at the wicked in their destruction, and, Jesus is sitting right next to him. You think they don't talk about it and laugh? I mean, come on now. They're people too. They're not human beings. Jesus is a human being. Yahweh is not human, but he's a person, And the angels, you think they don't look down here and they're like, you stupid kids, do better, Yeah, they do, okay? And if you read your Bible enough, you will understand that there's times where heaven takes things seriously, and times that they laugh at your stupidity because you're too stupid, you're too wicked, and that's just that's how human personality was created, and that especially with Yahweh, that's the personality we were created in the image of. So you can bet your biscuits that Yahweh is laughing at us when we get destroyed for living in a stupid, unwise, unrighteous way. Yep, that's a thing. Yep, and we as human beings don't have to like it. It's a thing a God does, but you don't have to like it. If you don't like it, well, I guess you probably don't like God either, and well, I ain't gonna end well for you. So, but that's the thing. That's like, hey, a person that's a fool deserves to be shamed. It's the only way they're gonna learn. And yeah, the wise will laugh at that. Shouldn't do it all the time. Shouldn't do it in a mocking manner, but it definitely happens. It's an uncontrollable urge to be like, oh my goodness, can you look at that? Like, or you just look at somebody and you're like, what in the world did that stupid idiot do? Like, we know bad things are going to happen, and we know the consequences are going to be bad, and we know that we should take it serious, but at the same time, there's some humor in people destroying themselves. There really is. Why do you think all the painful videos on YouTube exist? And I don't know too many righteous folks that don't look at stuff, and they take destruction seriously, but they're going to chuckle at it at least a little bit, and because it's hard to be that serious and not be just sorrowful and depressed all the time. So it's a mental defense mechanism, I would suppose. And it's after the pattern that Yahweh does too. You can look it up if you don't believe me. There's a lot of places in the Bible where it talks about Yahweh laughing at the destruction of the wicked or whatnot. So, and at the same time, it also says he gets angry, and also he says it should be taken seriously. So, is that a laughter of ha 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 ha, that was fun and funny and we should do it again? No. That's like, ha ha ha, that was really stupid. And it's not a good laugh. That's all I can say about it. So, just be aware of that kind of thing, and consider yourself in the time reference that we're in with the prophecy that we don't have much prophecy left before Jesus returns. So we're looking at worldwide destruction, and that's pretty much, all we got to look for if we're not righteous. So, and that righteousness is up to Yahweh as to whether or not we get that. Nobody else really gets to make that choice, and Jesus mediates, but even Jesus doesn't get to make the choice, right? Not unless Yahweh lets him. So, just consider it. Think about what I'm saying in the context of wisdom and in context of the times that we live in. And, yeah. If you got any comments or thoughts, or you think I said something out of line, well, leave a comment. I want to hear what you think. Give me the old thumbs up and subscribe. All right, y'all. Have a good one.